Hey, this is the Melvin Live Show. How's everyone doing? Well, first up, I'd like to say thank you so much for following me so far. I have been really, really encouraged by the fact that so many of you have been watching the live stream. But for some reason, some of you have chosen to stay anonymous, which is fine. But if I can get you to just come up and say hi, that would be awesome itself. Right. In any case, this is the Melvin Live Show, and I talk about the lessons that I learned as I built this 1 person, 1 million all digital business. Now, the obsession with building and sharing is that I always believe that when you learn something and you have to teach it, the level of retention is just phenomenal. And, as opposed to just learning it on your own and trying to get something done, I mean, that is good, but, nothing like if you have to teach it. I think that is phenomenal. So, that is one main reason why I have chosen to document this whole journey and yet at the same time to be able to use it as a way to perhaps reach out to some of you and to be able to provide value for some of you, right? And so with that, for those of you who are watching and I really appreciate that, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Right. And so today I want to talk about the art of being different. So in 2014, Sally Hawkshead released this book called How the World Sees You, right? And so the underlying message of that book is essentially this: how you see the world and how the world sees you may not be aligned. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that how the world sees you, it's the way that you want the world to see you, right? And so the most important thing about that concept itself is that you do not just want to be better than someone else, but what you want to do is you want to be different. Now, and so and hence the famous line, different is better than better. I think that line itself kind of stuck with me for a long, long time, ever since I've heard it. And it has stuck with me. It has been on my head. And that was primarily one of the things that I think about when I am, creating content, building my business. Um, you know, Even when I am doing training out there, that's the one key thing that I think about. How can I be different? Now, of course, it's easy to be different in the sense that, you just do something that is so different that people would pay attention, but that attention is not sustainable. So, for example, I can do this live video while doing a handstand, right? I mean, it's going to be different, but the attention that it's going to get that I'm going to get from that differentiation factor, it's not going to be, you know, sustainable because primarily the number one reason is because that differentiation it's not valuable in the eyes of the audience, in the eyes of the community, in the eyes of this person who is consuming this content. So when we talk about being different, I think there are two steps to this process itself. And the first step is that you need to use these three questions whenever you encounter something. And these three questions essentially are the three questions that I forced myself to actually ask myself this question on a regular basis because I was realizing that I was coming to a point where I was just taking many things as is. In other words, I kind of assumed that, oh, this is the way it is. And so you do not question, right? You assume and you expect that this is how it is. And so you do not question. However, whenever you go on a trip, for example, especially when you go on a long trip, and that's when you start seeing the place through the eyes of a tourist. And what do you do when you see a place through the eyes of a tourist? You will probably observe things that the native would not observe. So, for example, someone who has never lived in Singapore before, and if they come to Singapore, they might notice certain things that we as Singaporeans do not pay attention to. Or it is just so much of a norm that we don't even see it at all. So, for example, like, why is it that people, in the past, why is it that people would not wash their their floor in the morning? And 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 why is it deemed to be bad luck when people wash their floor? But you know, for us who have grown up in that era itself, we kind of take it as is. I mean, this is just the way it is. And so we first and foremost, we do not even see those things that a tourist would otherwise see it, right? So that's the first one. So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what is it that I am seeing that 95% or even 99% of the population do not see, right? What is it that I'm seeing that 99% of the population is not seeing? So, for example, you may see, right? You may look and you may see that these days many people when they are out, even with their family, or even guy and a gal who is out dating, and they are seated at a dinner table or in a restaurant, the first thing that they do is they would whip up their phone and start, tapping on their phone instead of talking to one another. For most people, right? So you see that, and you probably scoff at the behavior itself, like, then what's the point of coming out? You might as well just stay at home. And so, this is what most people would see. So, what is it that these people they look and they see this behavior, but they do not see what you see? So, what you see perhaps is that you see that now that you have this increase in behavior itself, it means that it is going to be more significant for you to find a way to be able to earn the people's attention on this small screen as opposed to on the bigger screen like a TV show or a TV commercial or the movies, right? So we may all see the same thing, but what is it that you see that 95% or 99% of the general population do not see? That's the first question you want to ask yourself, right? And once you ask yourself that question, you are able to see what other people do not see. May perhaps is even in plain sight, right? Once you have asked that first question, you are able to see a behavior or something that's happening that other people look but they do not see. Once you've gone through that stage, the next stage really is to ask yourself, why is it that they do that? Right? Why? And so the next set of questions, it's about being curious, right? This is about being curious and asking, why is that so? Why is it that people would not do this? Or why is it that people would do that? Or why is it that something like this is now more important, more so than ever, right? And so that's the second question that you want to ask yourself, because this is where you see something that other people do not see. And the next part is you want to dive deep into understanding what drives the behavior of this group of people, right? Or what drives the behavior of this group of people that is passionate about this particular topic itself, right? So that is the second key question that you will ask. And the third key questions that you will ask would be the following: what if, right? What if we are able to do this, and so to be able to capitalize on that behavior, or to be able to capitalize on people not doing it or do not want to do it, right? So what is it? What if we can do something that people that could capitalize on what people are doing or capitalize on the fact that they are not doing it? What is it, right? And so if I would be able to give you a specific example, is the following. Now, first thing first, I've been observing the behaviors of many small business owners, and these small business owners, primarily they are able to build their business because of the years of network that they have in place. So it's not like they have little to no network and they just went ahead and start the business. No, it wasn't that. Right? What they have was the network that they are able to tap into. And so when they start this business, or when they want to start this business, it is something that they are it makes it a lot easier for them to dive into that network or tap into that network, so that they are able to expand or make their business succeed. And so for this group of people, one of the things that they are not paying attention to, or they do not understand enough of, it's social media, right? Or digital marketing. And so the thing is that now people may see the same thing, right? People may observe and say that, yeah, I know about this guy who started this business, and in his late 40s or in his 50s, and boom, he was able to take off with a business just like that, right? Why is it that this person, perhaps they don't even ask, why is it that this person can do it and I can't, right? Or for all you know, it's probably like, oh yeah, they could do it because they have the network. But that's precisely the point. So they do see it, but they are not observing what you observe. right? So if you observe and say that, wow, this group of people, they are able to get a business started very quickly because of their network. And hence, that led to them not believing or not needing social media or digital marketing, for example, right? And so that's a behavior that they do not do. So, but why is it that they do not dive deep into digital marketing or social media? Well, the very reason for them not doing it is that they do not need it, right? They do not need it because currently, just by tapping on that network, it's enough to bring them to a profitable, viable, a feasible level that they're probably comfortable enough. And so, they may be thinking like, wow, if I'm able to bring it from a 10 million um, annual recurring revenue to 50 million recurring annual recurring revenue, that's good enough, right? And through my contacts and building from my contacts and my network itself, I'm able to achieve that kind of um, target. And so they may not see that social media and digital marketing is necessary. So then the third question is asked, what if we can do something that is able to capitalize on the fact that because they do not do it, are we able to capitalize on that? Or because they are tapping on their network, that is a behavior that they are doing. Is there something that we can capitalize on that behavior itself? And then from there, we are able to do something about it. And so the point I want to make here, my friends, is the following. We all want to be different, right? And so it can be different in a way that captures people's attention. It can be different in a way that it's unique. But what's really, really crucial is if you want to be different and you want that attention earned to be sustainable, then your differentiating factor has to be something of value to the person who is watching. And so if you want to differentiate yourself and get yourself noticed by the people that you want to reach, and you want that attention to be sustainable, the only way to do it is to have your differentiating factor valuable in the eyes of the people who are watching you. And in order for them to value your differentiating factor, you got to ask yourself this three question. What is it that I'm saying for this group of people that 95, 99% of people are not seeing, right? What is it that I'm saying that other people are not seeing? That's question number one. Question number two, it's, you know, why is it that they do what they do, or why is it that they do not do what we expect them to do, right? Why is it that they do what they do, or why is it that they do not do what we expect them to do? And then the third question is, what if we are able to capitalize on their behaviors, what they are doing or what they are not doing? What if we can capitalize on the behavior? What would that be? What would that look like? Right. And so once you're able to answer these three questions itself, that's when you have your differentiating factor. Because then you will be able to provide a solution or something that most people do not see, right? Most people do not see. Perhaps the people that you want to reach, they do not even see themselves, right? So first, you are able to reach them because this is something that most people do not see. So when you show it to them, they say that, "Wow, this is refreshing." Now, next is to leverage the thing that they do or not do, right? And so that it's something that is going to be valuable to them. And then you're providing a solution that is able to help them. Once you are able to reach that, that's when you have a differentiating factor that is of value to the very people that you want to reach, right? Let me know your thoughts about this topic itself, because I know some people who position themselves as a differentiator. I am a different, I'm a marketing person who is differenter, whatever that means, right? I mean, yeah, sure. Um, but the truth of the matter is that it's not just about being different, but what aspect of you that is different, that is crucial, right? And I hope that this has been useful. If it has, make sure you hit that like button or that thumbs up, and wherever you are watching me from, make sure you subscribe if you want more content like this. And so this is the Melvin Lai Show, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.